بچه دارم میفهمم چی داری میگی.
این کثافت امروز باید حرف بزنه.
این یه باطلاق عزیز من. آخرش همه تونم غرق میشیم.
It Was Just an Accident is the latest film from the Iranian author Jafar Panahi. And to be very honest, my viewing experience of this film will be very different from Onargo's viewing experience because Onargo had the great opportunity to catch this film at IFI Goa this year.
Yeah, my experience was definitely enhanced by the big screen. Watching this masterpiece on a big screen allowed me to engage and look for deep layers in every single moment of the film with a tensed audience that surrounded. At IFI Goa, the funny incident was I went to the second screening of this film because I didn't get the tickets to the first screening. First screening was so overfilled that people who didn't have tickets wanted to sit on the floor and watch the film. They had to bring in bouncers to remove those people. And I heard from people who went in the first screening that everyone has loved this movie. And I wanted to know, what's this universal appeal of this movie? Why does everybody like this movie? Then I saw the film in the second screening and I was blown away with the sheer tension and the political subtext the film provides.
Now, like most film buffs this year, this was also one of my most anticipated films of the year, just because of its Cannes reputation. And I really went into this with some pretty high expectations. And now to be very honest, this film didn't exactly hook me right away. Now you see, this film takes a lot of time to set up its world and its characters. Speaking of characters, there's actually a lot of them in this. And it was almost like I was waiting for the film to live up to its name. It had gathered, winning the Palme d'Or this year.
For me, I was engaged to this movie from the start to finish. There is no other choice and sentimental value. The three of my most engaging films this year, all three of which I watched at IFI Goa. Click on the I button to watch the reviews of these films too.
And maybe while I was expecting something extraordinary right off the bat, I found this film to be unapologetically ordinary in its first 1 hour. And I'm not saying like the first hour is bad or something, it just takes a lot of time to set its footing. But now comes the fun part, and I'm pretty sure you will hear this being said by other reviewers hundreds of times throughout the year. But I think no praise is enough for the final 20 minutes of the film. Now, I can't really say much about the plot because that delves into the spoiler territory, but I can give a description that it's almost like a 10 minutes long oneer where the camera is just static on a tripod and the director just lets the actor take it all out on the screen. And honestly, it was the most visceral cinema watching experience for me this year.
For me, it was a very deserving Palme d'Or winner because I saw few trends in the recent Palme d'Or winners like Anora, Triangle of Sadness, Titan, Parasite, which were present in this one too, and also Jafar Panahi, the man who gifted us masterpiece after masterpiece. From Offside to This Is Not a Film to Taxi to No Bears last year, which I watched at the Kolkata International Film Festival last year. These were shot in the most dire situations in mostly complete secrecy against a dominating regime. This win stands for the resistance against fascist powers all over the world, something which Cannes and French cinema has stood for decades now.
And when the movie ended, I found myself immediately going to Onargo and saying that might be the best ending to a film I have seen this year. And actually, in retrospect, not only this year, maybe in forever actually. And that makes this film an absolute prime example of how to end a movie.
Every single sequence is beautifully crafted, directed, blocked, staged, and written so perfectly. All in all, for me, it's not just the best ending of the year, but it is definitely one of the best films of this year.
Overall, It Was Just an Accident is another very worthy addition to the filmography of the master Jafar Panahi. Yeah, it might test your patience in the beginning, but if you are willing to sit for the ride, the destination is more than worthwhile.
If you like Jafar Panahi films, here's a recommendation. And Towards Happy Alleys by SYNOPSIS is a Berlinale nominated documentary that delves into the workings of Iranian cinema and Jafar Panahi. We loved this film last year and the director is our very own Jadavpur University alumni, now available on Mubi and the Criterion Collection. For more recommendation and reviews, follow us and subscribe to our channel.